Talk us through some of the things about like in the women's game that you found really appealing then, or you thought were particularly good. Because I completely agree. Like I know like Wales women's team has done some great stuff. Like England's women's team, like for someone who is supposed to be anyone but England, every time I see a bit of content with the England women's team, I'm like, will you stop being so bloody likable? I'm trying to hate you over here. Like, so what for you? Did the women's team do better?
So their behind the scenes content, I think, is a lot better. We see a lot more personalities and a lot more fun than we do in a lot in the men's game. They're much more willing to be themselves, and Scotland girls often do sort of games and things on TikTok, and they'll do dances and things like that, which we're not going to see big hand doing dances, on TikTok, you know. Um, Also, the interviews I find that the women give, we hear a lot more information about how they're actually feeling about the game, and it feels very real. Rachel Malcolm, Scotland captain, used to do the official Scottish podcast. I don't know if she still does, but she often speaks very eloquently about the team, and how much it means to her playing for the team, and if they've had a loss, and how that's affected her. And we just don't see that so much, in the men's game. They'll say, oh yeah, it's a bad loss, but we don't really hear them eloquently speak about how they actually feel. It's very sanitized. So they're much more free. They don't seem to have this kind of baggage that maybe the men have. They're just happy to be themselves, and I think that's great. You get involved in the personalities.